pretty sure dark mode is not real. I'm not talking about the pixels. Obviously the pixels are real. I mean the reason you think you use it. Ask anyone around you why they switched to dark mode. I want to ask you, why did you switch to dark mode? And yes, I am stating this with a conviction that you also use dark mode to some extent or the other, because I also use it a lot. It's in my phone, my laptop, all of my digital spaces. If there is an option to go for dark mode, I will use it. So when you ask anyone this question, why did they switch to dark mode, you will get the same 3 answers every time. Number 1, easier on my eyes. Number 2, saves my battery. Number 3, helps me focus. Almost 1 billion people made that switch believing those exact 3 things. So I went and dug around and found the actual studies stating, are these reasons even real, or are we just making these up in thin air? Published very recently this year, a few years back. So these are quite recent studies, these are peer-reviewed studies, and 2 of those 3 reasons basically fell apart when I started researching about this. And the third one does something way weirder than health. It might be making your eyes work harder while your brain gets tricked into thinking it isn't. That's not a metaphor, my folks. There is an actual number for that. So stick around and I'll get into it. Quick detour before I wreck this. Dark mode didn't become popular because of science, because of evidence or research. It became popular because of marketing. When Google rolled out dark mode, the update literally said, easier on your eyes at night, easier on your battery during the day. 2 claims presented as a fact inside the feature announcement. Spotify compared their dark UI to a movie theater. Imagine you going to a theater and watching a movie. Everything around you is dark, and it creates an ambience and something that you look forward to, and it feels good because your center of attention is at the movie and movie only. You can talk about Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu. None of them even let you switch back to light mode. That's not an accessibility choice that we're talking about. It's a look, it's an aesthetic that we have come across. There is a name for this design. In fact, it's called the aesthetic usability effect. If something looks premium, we assume it performs better even when nothing about how it works actually changed. The belief didn't come from a lab setting, it came from a product team. And then 1 billion people repeated it until it felt like a fact. Let's talk about claim number 1, easier on our eyes. 2025's Ergonomics Journal, there were 173 people involved. Researchers ran actual cognitive tests, and by cognitive I mean attention, memory, processing speed, all of that cool stuff. Half of them in light mode, half in dark, and this round light mode won across the board. This is not something what dark mode users want to hear, I know, but here is what's actually strange about this. Separate study, same year, eye tracking. So people do tasks on dashboards, researchers track their pupils when they work in both themes, that is light and dark mode. Dark mode does win something real. When I talk about medium difficulty tasks, people were more accurate more confident, move their eyes efficiently. And yeah, it's a real win. I'll give you that. But, their pupils dilated more in dark mode. So before I tell you why is this such a significant find, let me take you to a scenario. Imagine you entering into a dark room. No lights, nothing. This is your first time entering the room, and you would see that it takes a few seconds or a few minutes for you to adjust to your surroundings, and you can kind of make out the silhouette of the place that you're at. You can kind of make out what things are around you, where you are. That means your pupils are dilating. So when pupils are dilating, that means more light is entering into your eyes and it is letting you see the surroundings. Compare that to a well-lighted room. You enter it and instantly you know where things are. It is much easier. It doesn't take much time. Hence, we know that pupil dilation is one of the most reliable signs that we know that our brain is working harder. So the eyes are actually doing more work. Then researchers asked people how hard the task felt. Dark mode scored as less mentally demanding. Let me reiterate that. Their eyes were working harder. Their brain said it felt easier. In the same study, on the same task. That's the number I promised you in the beginning of the video. Your eyes can be doing more work while your brain is convinced it's coasting. Dark mode might not be reducing how tired you get, it might just be reducing how tired you feel. And by the way, the actual eye strain, American Academy of Ophthalmology says it's mostly about how much you blink, not how bright your screen is. We blink way less staring at any screen. Dark mode does not really touch upon that. And if you have glasses like me, you know what I'm talking about exactly. Every single eye doctor says that you need to move away from your screen after every 20 minutes and stare at a wall or something else other than a screen so that your eyes can rest. So yeah, it's not about the dark mode, it's about how many times you blink or look away from the screen. One more thing worth a text on screen call out if you want it. A third of adults have some form of astigmatism, and for a lot of them, white text on black screen actually blurs at the edges. Dark mode is not neutral for everyone. For some people, it is literally harder to read. Okay, so our claim number 2, the easiest one to check, that it saves your battery. Does it save your battery? On certain circumstances. So dark mode only saves battery on OLED screens, the kind that can switch individual black pixels off completely. LED screens keep a backlight on no matter what color your screen is. Dark mode does absolutely nothing for those. Even on OLED, Purdue researchers found at full brightness, dark mode cuts power by 67%. But most people like you and me don't run their phone at full brightness. It's maybe around 30-40%. So at 30%, which is way more typical, the number drops to 14%. So yes, it's a real effect, about a third as big as the marketing implies. Claim number 3. This is the one that annoys me the most, because dark modes get credit for something it was never actually shown to do. JAMA study this year, 122,000 adults, they checked this screen use before bed. What did it result? It resulted in less sleep, later bedtimes, worse sleep quality, all of those stuff. But none of those studies tested dark mode against light mode. They tested using your phone versus not using your phone. Nobody actually ran the dark versus light sleep experiment. Look up the American Academy of Ophthalmology's own advice. They tell you to set your phone to night mode or dark mode before bed, like they are the same setting. They are not the same setting. Night mode shifts your screen towards warmer colors. That's the thing that is actually linked to melatonin and what all of the people on the internet are talking about. Dark mode just swipes your background from white to black. Dark mode does not touch color temperature at all. Your phone in dark mode at full brightness is putting out the exact same blue light it would in a light mode setting. So I can say that even the eye doctors are kind of mixing these up. I can make a whole separate video about the warmer color temperature as well, but it is simply not the same thing. Dark mode and the warmer temperature color, these are separate settings. I'm not saying that dark mode is a scam. It's just too easy, and it's not true. As Oscar Wilde put it, the truth is rarely simple and never pure. There are some real wins because it works in low light environments. When you're reading it bed, it was generally what it was built for, and people with cataracts, bright white backgrounds genuinely hurt more than dark backgrounds, and it is helpful for them. Medium complexity visual tasks, like we covered earlier, and battery also gets saved, but there are some certain conditions. And at the end of the day, you are allowed to just like how it looks, and that is a real reason for many of us. You don't need a peer-reviewed study to justify liking black backgrounds any more than you need one to justify liking a font, for example. The problem was never about the preference. It's a stapling health claims onto a preference to make it sound more legitimate than I think it looks cool. And yes, this is what bothers me the most. Yes, here is where I land, and it's less satisfying than a clean verdict either way. Dark mode is real as a look, real as a battery saver under specific conditions, real as an accessibility tool for some people. But as a universal upgrade to your brain and your health, the version that's actually driving a billion people's settings, it does not hold up. It does not make sense. Best cognitive test we have, light mode 1. Best eye tracking study we have, dark mode worked your eyes way harder while convincing you that it didn't. And almost for every single study I read for this video, with some version of the sentence in its own limitation section, it had the same thing, pointing out. They had a small sample size, there was one task type, more research needs to be done, because we can't just conclude this much of a big claim by just one or two studies. So maybe the real thesis isn't dark mode is fake. It's what we have built a $1 billion design consensus on, maybe like 3 or 4 studies wrapped in a marketing pitch that showed up years before the actual science did. And if you are thinking, oh, should I switch to light mode? No, I'm not telling you to switch back to light mode either. If you like it, keep it. That's good enough reason on its own. But next time you catch yourself saying dark mode is easier on your eyes, ask yourself if that's actually true for you, or if it's just one sentence that the industry handed you 8 years ago and you never really reasoned to question. What do you guys think? Do you guys use dark mode? Under what specific circumstances do you use light mode? I would like to know about your opinion on this as well. And yes, again, sources for everything that I said in the description, it's linked down. Actually, I would recommend you to read past those headlines because that's where the nuance actually lives. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want me to make more videos on a certain topic that you're interested in, let me know. Comment down below and keep the comment section active. I would like to more know about your opinion about dark mode. If you think that dark mode should not exist after this video, or if light mode is bad for your eyes, what do you guys think? I am open to new things. I have an open mind and would love to know more. So yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye.